Hello friends, and welcome back. Today I want to talk about grapples. Grapples have been out for a long time. There's several videos explaining what is the best grapple, but today I want to take some time and I want to explain the different grapples, the ones I've used, how they work, and what really is the best grapple, because there's so many different kinds, and if you're like me, I can't afford to own 3 different grapples. So if there's one grapple I could buy, I'm going to tell you what it is. The first grapple on our list is the root rake clamp style grapple. Now I've personally had this grapple and it's got some pros and it's got some cons. The pros to it is it's good at picking up logs, lengthwise. It's good at pushing and clearing. It's good at grabbing brush. The cons to it, I think, are you can't grab a log lengthwise and pull it out or place it because it has that curved bottom. You can't really like push dirt with it or anything, because sometimes when we got a grapple on, we need to move some dirt, we need to move some material, kind of smooth something out. It's not really good at that. So the next grapple on the list is the rock style grapple. Now these grapples will have a long bottom. They'll usually have 2 grabbers, 2 clams that come down. This style grapple is great for moving logs, brush, piles of brush. It's good for sorting stuff out. If you're into firewood, they're great for scooping up firewood. Things they're not so good at is they're not good at getting like roots out of the ground or rocks, because they have that smooth edge and it's hard to get in there and pry it out because they just have that smooth edge. Whereas the previous style grapple we talked about, the clam, it's curved and you can really get under something. So this style grapple, my parents have this one on their skid steer, so I have lots of experience running this style grapple. Works really good for cleaning up hay or debris like that, something that's loose that you want to grab, but something you kind of still need a bucket bottom for. Also with the tines, you can shake stuff out. It works pretty good, honestly. I also like this style grapple because you can go into a log and grab it like lengthwise, and you can place it or you can pull it out of the woods. Works pretty good. The next style grapple is the log grapple, and this grapple is just going to have 2 forks down and then just a clam. These grapples are super common among people that just do firewood, and if you're just going to move logs, it's probably the grapple to get. But if you're going to move brush and stuff, they don't really do a great job of moving brush. I mean, you can grab like a lemon stuff here with it, but you just can't really clean up a big area of sticks and stuff like you can with the previous grapples I mentioned. So they definitely have a place, but they're kind of a one-trick pony, whereas all the other grapples, you can do multiple things with. Next style is the demo grapple, and this grapple is going to have a solid bottom. It's very similar to a rock grapple, just a solid bottom. If you're like doing concrete work, removing concrete, cleaning up like downed houses, this is probably the grapple to have. One thing that sucks about this grapple is if you're cleaning up like sticks or debris like that, everything you push, it's grabbing. It's not like it's going to sort out or leave some dirt behind. So yeah, very similar to other stuff, just with the solid bottom. Next grapple is the rotating log grapple. These ones are super common among tree people. It's got the big arch, grab on the end, perfect for skidding logs out of the woods or doing tree work. You can't like drag it on the ground and clean anything up or move material though. They're good at grabbing like piles of sticks and stuff if somebody already placed them, but you're not really cleaning up just a bunch of brush with it. Obviously it's not what it's made for. Again, it's a one-trick pony, and the great ones are the ones that have the hydraulic rotating, not the manual, and they're pretty expensive. So last grapple we're going to talk about, and it's my favorite, and I think it is personally the best grapple, all-around grapple you can buy, and I'm going to tell you why in depth, is the brush grapple, the brush root rake root grapple, and I think this is the best grapple you can get. So for starters, why I think this is the best overall grapple you can get for doing a variety of things is this edge right here. As you can see, this is rolled. So with this being rolled, what it allows me to do is I can tilt this and put this point in the ground and just rub it right on the edge here, and I can scrape the ground, clear sticks, debris, and just kind of push everything into a pile and then grab it. With this, I can grab full logs this way. Lengthwise, I can stack several logs in here because it opens so big. I can grab a log. I think this is like a 34-inch opening. I can grab giant rounds that way. As you can see here, it has this big bar that goes all the way across, and this offers a lot of support between all the tines. But what it also does is there's been several times I'm in the woods and cleaning stuff up, and there's uneven ground, there's ruts and stuff that I want to smooth out before I take my machine over it. And I can actually push dirt, smooth dirt, break up the ground with this bar. And you know, a lot of the other style grapples you can't. Another reason why I think this is one of the best style grapples, again with this rolled edge here, is a lot of the machines that I've used grapples on, they're smaller machines like this stand-on mini skid or a tractor. These machines don't have a ton of rollback curl force. So with this edge here is I can get this under some roots here, and because this is rounded, I can use this edge to pry up and pry a root out of the ground or a rock or something. Whereas with the big flat, if it's completely flat and you want to curl it, you're relying all on your machine to curl. You have no leverage. This is a huge leverage point here. Another reason why I think this is the best overall grapple is there's a lot of times where I've cut wood, like logs, and I've needed to pull them out of the entanglement, or I've needed to load a log on the back of my dump trailer like lengthwise, and I can stick the log in here, pinch it with the bar here, or grab it with the tine, and I can pull it out. With some of the other grapples as stated, you can't do that. So this kind of serves as the log grapple, like that tree people use, as stated before, that you can like skid with it and pull stuff out. And the other grapples you can, except the clam grapple. Like I said before, I've had the clam grapple before, and you can't get anything in it and like skid with it. So that's one thing that I think is really cool about this. Also with this grapple having big spacing in between, it works good for firewood. Like some firewood will fall through if you're just grabbing bundles of firewood, but it's also not small enough that it's just gonna hold dirt. Like I said, if you're cleaning stuff up, a lot of the dirt and stuff that you're scraping that might get caught, it just rolls through and goes through the grapple. So when it comes to buying the grapple, like things to look for and things that I see other people talk about is how heavy the grapple is. Everybody wants the lightest grapple for their machine, and there is reason behind that. You know, you don't want to kill your lift capacity with this giant grapple on the front, but you also don't want to buy a super light duty grapple you're going to tear up. For example, the Land Pride grapple I had before this one that I had on my tractor, the metal wasn't thick on it, but it had AR400 stickers all over it, so it made it sound like, oh, AR400, this super tough metal. I bent that thing all up. It was a piece of crap. This one is a lot thicker, it's heavier, but I don't really notice that much decreased lift capacity compared to the Land Pride grapple I had. This one is made by Express Steel. There's several other companies that make a grapple this style, but I would more so focus on the thickness of the grapple, and maybe you'll lose a little bit of lift capacity, but you're also not going to mangle up a $2,000 or $3,000 investment. So this particular grapple is just, you know, obviously a one hydraulic cylinder because it's only 48 inches wide. But the larger versions of these usually have the 2 cylinders. And like I said, when I was in the market to buy this grapple, I had tried other grapples before, and I'd never tried this one before. My friend Jacob from Twin City Firewood, he has this style, and he said, man, you got to try that one. I think that one's the best. And Jacob was definitely right. This grapple going forward, like I have it on this machine, and you know, I don't plan on buying another grapple for this machine, but going forward, if I got a larger machine or something, I would definitely go with this grapple again. So when it comes to buying a grapple, you want to buy a grapple, like if you have a 60-inch wide skid steer tractor, I wouldn't say you want to buy a 72-inch grapple for that, but you also don't want to buy like something that's way smaller. One thing that I think is important with grapples is, you know, for how I'm using them, I'm pushing brush, I'm pushing tree stuff. I don't want to buy a grapple that's way narrower and that as I push into stuff, it's not going to protect my machine. Like if I had a 72-inch wide skid steer, I wouldn't want to buy a 48-inch wide grapple for it. Like this grapple is 48 inches wide and my machine is 44. So it's very well suited to the machine. There's plenty of protection as I push through stuff and stuff falls off the sides. My machine's not just running it all over. If you're looking at grapples too, one thing that I think is important is to have these edges, your tines, have them, you know, a little bit of serrate on them, like a little bit of steps. Like as you can see, this one has several different steps. Whatever you're grabbing, whether it's wood, or concrete or brush. It just helps it hold on to it. I kind of wish these tops had, you know, notches in them too, but I definitely would not want just a smooth edge. So, moral of the story really, in my opinion, if there is one grapple that's pretty good at everything and that you can do pretty much everything with, and it's not a one-trick pony or, you know, a two-trick pony, I think this grapple, this style, for the reasons I said before, is the best. Like, it just, for everything that I do, cleaning up trees, moving logs, moving rocks, demo work, like I've taken out decks with this, I've taken up concrete with it. There's one grapple that is pretty good at everything. I think it's this style. My friend Aaron, he has this style on his tractor, and I've gotten the same feedback from him as far as what he thinks about it. So I know I'm not alone. I know there's other people that really like this style of grapple. This one, like I said before in particular, is from Express Steel, and I've had it almost a year now, and like I said, I've done just about everything with this grapple. There's no bends on it. There's hardly any wear. It's a freaking good grapple. So that's my 2 cents on grapples. I'd like you guys to leave me a comment and tell me what you think is your favorite grapple, what works for you. You know, everybody's different. Everybody has different uses. It just depends what you're using it for. You just want to get the right grapple the first time. They're expensive. You don't want to buy one twice. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.